This is the worst unrest the capital has seen in a decade, and security forces were everywhere, poised to come in hard at the first sign of protest. Across Tehran, knots of angry opposition supporters gathered at intersections, shouting "Down with the dictator," until riot police quickly chased them away. "I just can't believe this election result. I'm so furious," said Ashbali, as a fresh wave of protesters ran to escape being beaten by police. Young people especially are angered by what they believe to be a rigged election that defeated the reform candidate Mir Hossein Mousavi.
I feel sad, frustrated.
Just then, another activist arrived, urging people to join the demonstrations. Iran's election commission announced President Ahmadinejad's landslide victory, 62.6% of the vote, with only 33.75 going to the opponent Mousavi.
Tonight, President Ahmadinejad called the election fair and healthy.
Immediately, Mousavi responded on his webpage, "I won't give in to this dangerous charade." And although there's no hard evidence of vote rigging, he warned, people won't respect those who take power by fraud.
I know why they do this.
Ghazala Hassanzadeh was glued to Facebook today to stay in touch with other young people disgusted by the regime.
Shame on them that they think that they can fool us.
Facebook is young Iranians' main link with Mousavi headquarters, now that text messaging and many websites have been shut down.
We have chosen this as a symbol of our prayer. Where is my vote? Really, where's my vote?
The same question is being asked by millions of other Iranians in cities across the country, and so far they're not satisfied with the answer.
As I said, there's no hard proof of fraud in this election, but lots of what people see as circumstantial evidence. For example, one of the minor candidates pointed out today that in his own home region, where he's hugely popular, he had more campaign workers than he received votes. Anthony?
Liz, is there any evidence these protests are actually spreading? And if so, what do you expect the Iranian government will do about it?
So far, they seem to be controlled. It's unlikely that they will become a mass uprising unless the defeated candidate, Mousavi, calls people into the streets. And he is a man of the establishment for all that he's a reformer. He's very close to Iran's clergy. There's nothing to suggest he's going to do anything radical like that, especially if it might lead to violence.
Elizabeth Palmer in Tehran. Thanks. For more perspective on the foreign policy challenges facing the Obama administration, we're joined now by CBS News analyst John Dickerson. Good evening, John.
Good evening.
John, how do you think the White House is viewing this right now?
Well, in conversations with administration officials this afternoon, they are trying to stay out of the picture here. They've tried that all along with respect to the Iranian election, so they're saying very little. The White House put out a statement noticing that there was this vigorous debate going on in Iran. The best thing the administration can hope for is to focus on that idea that there is a group of Iranians, a majority, they would argue, who are freedom-loving and that they are being tamped down on by their authoritarian Iranian government. And that's the point they're trying to make at the moment. But they're really not sure quite what to make of this, although privately they say it's almost certain there was fraud in this election.
So how does this complicate the Obama administration's attempts at a more open approach with the Iranians?
It complicates it because the president has been trying to reach out to the Iranian government, which already has a bad track record, and now looks like it's being excessively authoritarian. It's crushing the free desires of its people. And so how does the president go out and say, well, now I want to have this dialogue with Iranian leaders? The White House argues, though, that this outreach effort was always a matter of protecting U.S. national security interests, that it was a way to get some kind of way to begin a conversation with the Iranians, that those U.S. national security interests are still intact. The president still has to pursue them. And though this makes it complicated, one advisor mentioned Tiananmen Square, that dealing with the Chinese after Tiananmen Square was very difficult for the U.S., but that nevertheless the president still has to find a way to protect U.S. national security interests, and that will continue no matter what happens with this election.
John Dickerson in Washington tonight. Thanks.
Thank you.